Dina, where are you? All right. Just like, all right, that's better. I'm going to start right now. Hey, reflections. I see we have a few people in the chat room, or watching at least right now. This is my first live stream, and I'm kind of just figuring out how to do this right now. And my computer's freezing at the moment, so can anybody hear me? Just to make sure. Ah, okay. There we go. Ah, Santiago, hello. You hear me? Yeah, this is the first time I'm doing a live stream, so it's gonna take me a minute. How are you doing? I think some people got like really annoyed that I was just trying to figure it out. Oh, we got more people coming in right now. Hey guys, hey reflections. Gonna do a 420 live stream. Got my joint right here. And we're gonna get going. I kind of wanted to like have a conversation, like a metaphysical conversation, about what's going on in the world and kind of ask any or answer any questions that anybody has. about the astral world. So weird. All right. Hey Alejandro, how are you? Can you guys hear me okay? Just wanted to know. Oh, we got a few people in here right now. That's pretty cool. Honestly, this is way more than I thought. I thought that there would be like, thank you, Alejandro. Thank you for letting me know. Honestly, I thought there was going to be like one person in here. I didn't really know if anybody was going to come to the live stream. So thank you. Thank you for taking your time to just spend it with me. And thank you for spending your Friday with me. I know that that's a day where a lot of people are busy, but I don't know. I just felt like doing this live stream now. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you guys. Awesome. If you wanted to like ask me any questions, I'm more than willing to answer any questions. I actually wanted to tell you guys about an entity contact lucid dream that I had. I'm going to be doing a video about this soon, I believe. I didn't know if I wanted to do a separate video for this. I think so, because the entity that I saw, let's just say she was biblical. And that's kind of weird. You know, it's really funny to me. I have more of an easier time understanding that, okay, an entity like the devil would come to my dream. But I have a very hard time, coming to, I guess, a realization that something like the Virgin Mary, the Divine Mother, came to me in a lucid dream, I would say a month ago. And for me, it's like, I'm not a religious person, and I've kind of pushed, people away when they say, oh, well, I had, a vision of Christ, or I had a vision of Buddha, or I had a vision of the Virgin Mary. I always just thought that was just, a load of garbage. And yeah, she came to me, and she was a really powerful, powerful, powerful figure. Hold on, let's see what's going on with the chats, just to make sure everything's okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so she came to me in a lucid dream, and it was really interesting. At first, I didn't know what I saw. Like, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just like a Roman statue, or like some type of old statue. I thought it was maybe like 12th century, 8th century, because she was wearing the cloak, or the what do you call, whatever the Virgin Mary wears, like the long robes. So she was wearing these long robes. And she actually came in a statue, which really blew my mind. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is because I've been talking about a lot of dark shit. And I just wanted to let you guys know that there is hope. And there are very powerful, powerful, powerful interdimensional or multidimensional beings that are on our side. And I've heard a few other light workers talk about the Blue Mother, the Divine Mother, Mary Magdalene. And just like, again, in all of her sightings, it was just so, it was the same. It was exactly what you would picture the Virgin Mary looking like. But me being a dumbass and not really believing, not really believing that these things exist, just like I didn't, believe that the devil exists. But just because I don't believe it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And, just because I don't believe that, the Virgin Mary doesn't exist doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And she seemed like such a powerful entity. The reason why I didn't talk about this before was actually I was moving. I might have mentioned this in a podcast or video cast with Oseron. And the funny thing is, Oseron was actually with me during this time, during this lucid dream. And it all started with us walking on a beach, kind of. It looked very occult, very esoteric. It was an island, and that has a lot of meaning, esoteric meaning. And we were walking and we were talking like friends do in, the middle of the night. It was the night sky, and it was very luminous, it was very bright, and there was this like silver white haze around, and it looked very magical. And it started with Oseron telling me to look up, and I looked up, and I saw a human being falling. And this is, again, a very good allegory of what we are, of the fallen ones. And it was falling. And I see a star, like a shooting star or an asteroid coming in. And it came with the speed of light, and it just grabbed the human being that was falling down from the heavens, or falling down. And when the being came in, it came in like a shooting star or an asteroid or something like very powerful, and not from this earth plane. Definitely not from this earth plane, because I mean, it was witty, it was loving, it was kind, it was smart. It was showing me things, but in a very humble way, not like a brag, like, oh, look what I could do, I'm so amazing. It was very humble, and how it was representing itself, which was really amazing. So yeah, this statue or this thing, whatever it was, I didn't know, it just looked like a white light. Almost like a shooting star or something, just coming into the Earth's atmosphere. And as it's coming down, all I see is just something go straight down and grab the person that is falling to the ground at its death. And when it grabbed the person, it looked at me, and it was like, hey. And in that moment that it looked at me, first I could see, I could see that she was wearing robes. And, the eyewitness accounts of what she looks like, it's really funny because they always show her in a statue form. Like it's always this white statue or this alabaster statue. And that's exactly what she looks like. She didn't come in human form. Like, she was a statue. And I don't really know why she came to me that way, but it seems to me that everybody that meets her says that she's either white or blue. Oh, hey guys. How long have you been, I'm looking at this stuff right now. Hey, Oseron. Hey, Jake Megabyte. How long have you been lucid dreaming? I'm going to go back to that. Did it start after the psychedelics, or did they become more frequent? Okay, I started lucid dreaming. First off, I want to say I did not remember any of my dreams, before. And it's really funny. My sister actually is a lot more psychic than I am. I started, I don't know, I just like opened up something, a portal or something with, I don't know, 6 or 7 lucid dreams, 2 of them and entities that I've been contacted by. So, it all depends. Usually when there's change, usually when there's a message that needs to come in. Like today, perfect example. I have the craziest dreams. Like I will dream of like very symbolic stuff, like lotus roots, or which is part of the lotus plant, or the flower, the lotus. Cutting them. So like it'll be very symbolic like that. Or I will have ayahuasca dreams, or DMT dreams, or acid dreams, mushroom dreams. They came after my first DMT trip. But what happened was I was terrified of what was happening to me, and I thought it was bad. I thought it was, I was just scared. I was really freaking scared. I was stupid. You know, when you're ignorant, you're kind of stupid, and well, duh. When you're ignorant, you just don't know any better, and it's something scares you instead of like making you excited. So the last time I did DMT, I promised myself that I was never going to be afraid again. Like that was it, because I'm just so terrified of doing DMT again. Story, man, it was so good. But I will tell you later. Oh, Jake, so what is your what's your experience with lucid dreams? For me, the hypnagogic stuff has been happening less, actually. I'm not really like, when my lucid dreams come, they're always really just symbolic and archetypal, and they're terrifying sometimes. So like I'm not waiting for the next one. When they come, and I'm just like, all right, fine. I'll just deal with it when they come. So back to the dream that I was talking about, the mother, the divine mother. It was an apocalyptic type lucid dream. So this seems to be a current undertone of all of my dreams that have to do with the human condition, the state of humanity, and for some reason, it's always apocalyptic. And I, again, don't want it to be that way. But it does move you to a point where it gets your attention. After DMT especially, it got, yeah. Yeah, definitely. After I had done DMT, actually, specifically, I was getting all types of alien contact from different entities. So that was very interesting because, again, like if you know anything about me before, I used to never know what was going on in my dreams. It's like I was completely unconscious and I blacked out and I didn't know anything. So yeah, going back to this dream, it was like apocalyptic, end of the world scenario, asteroid coming from space, but it was the Virgin Mary. It's like, yeah. And like for me, it kind of, I don't know whether it's like that archetypal figure. I don't know whether it's like a program. I don't know, like, but what I got from her, like the overall feeling, was not one of fear, was not one of judgment, was not one of hatred or anything like that. It was loving and it was kind and it was looking at me like, God damn, you silly humans. You know, like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. And within that split second of her just showing me how powerful she was, and showing how powerful the divine feminine is when you tap into it. So after that experience, I have been able to tap into the same frequency and just tap into her. And when I get into those spaces, like today, right before I was doing this live stream, man, it felt very psychedelic. It felt very psychedelic, and it was freaking me out. Like, I had to ground myself. And that's how I get every day. I don't know if that happens to other people, but it feels like the end of the simulation. And I just have to be like, all right, you're just being dramatic. But it had happened when I connected with that particular entity, and it was just this profound connection to source that I haven't felt in a very long time, since I would say my last DMT trip. Yeah. So it just, yeah. And it was basically just like, it was a message to humanity that things are going to get worse. Things are going to get bad. Things are going to get really intense, and it's going to be very high entropy. But that we have beings on our side that are very powerful, that are working with us. And they don't want to see us suffer anymore. They don't want to see us, again, fall. And it was just really powerful. She was just showing me like how much strength that she has, and how much strength that I have, and the power that is working on the side of humanity. And that was, I think, one of the only entities that was willing to communicate with me, not like very aloof, because some entities are that way. They're very telepathic, and sometimes, like, I had, I guess this is going to be talking about lucid dreams and entities today. Basically, what had happened was there was this one dream that I had with a ascended master, and it was all about human suffering, you know, and that one, it was really funny how it started. It was terrifying. And when I have these dreams, they're normally terrifying. My dream with the devil, like the left side of my brain had to shut down to receive that message. So that was really intense. But this dream in particular, the one with the Asian Chinese ascended master, I don't know what it was. But we were sitting at a bar, and we were watching someone, and we were watching, well, first off, it started off with an interaction with me. And I had said something to hurt that person, and I saw how my interactions with that person created suffering. And I asked the ascended master, whatever it was, I asked them, why do we suffer? And again, like, he was very aloof. It's just like, you know the answer. You know the answer. And he just smiled. And of course, I knew the answer. I didn't really want to be real with myself at that time. Yes, that's exactly who it was. Exactly. And I was like, wow. When we were sitting at a bar, like, it was so funny. It was like this lounge type bar, and we were watching someone in a cage. It was like bondage. And I was crying for this person, and I was just like, why does this person have to suffer? And I look to, like, my side, and it's just this he was dressed in these robes again, and he didn't say anything. It was very telepathic, and he just smiled. And like then I woke up and I was like, wow, that was deep. But yeah, I've been laying off on the psychedelics for a bit, only because, again, like I say, life has become psychedelic. And yeah, oh, 420 already passed. I was just talking and talking and talking. Happy 420, guys. Let's see. Yeah, that's definitely happened to me. I have woken up in DMT spaces, and it was one that I had. Yeah. You definitely do hear these weird frequencies in those spaces. Yeah, I had this one dream. Well, it was a lucid dream. And again, this was happening as I was coming back into 3D, when I was coming back into awareness. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not dreaming anymore. It was a star. I don't know how many points it had, whether it was 8 or 9 or whatever. And it was this star, and it was going click, 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 and I was in DMT space, and there was a dome. And then I woke up, and I was like, whoa. Yeah, Alejandro. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Like, it creeps me out. Um, while I was moving and all of this stuff was happening, like I saw everything. That was actually when things that are life changing happen to me. I am able to tap into those abilities more. So during that time, actually, I was able to remote view. I don't know if you guys have had any experience with that, but that's really cool. I was never able to do that. I was able to see the future, and actually, I just had entity contact with a time traveler. That was really cool, actually. Um, Again, this comes in passing. Like, I'm not really conjuring or, like doing seances and trying to like communicate with spirits. That's not how it happens for me at all. I don't channel. It's none of that. They usually, in the middle of a dream, in a hypnagogic state, I will have an entity come through for a bit, or they will be as I am becoming aware. I love Tom Campbell. Yes, I love. Yeah. I love the Tom Campbell stuff. He knows what's up. I'm heavily into lucid dreaming and astral projection. Actually, when I meditate, I meditate laying down. So I don't meditate sitting up at all, because I like to get into lucid states of consciousness. Yeah. And actually, what I can do is, I don't know if you guys could do this as well. I can stay in those hypnagogic states. I've been practicing to stay in them for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and I'll just be on that edge of sleep and lucidity, and I'll be able to get well, for me, it seems like extraterrestrial contact, because it's always in like codes, and again, they're the punch card codes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they'll be able, and once I was able to see technology, light technology. And again, it's kind of like a monkey, like I'm the monkey in the like ET technology room, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is. So yeah, I was able to see some type of light technology. And the time traveler, she seemed to. Yeah. I could believe that. I could believe that. Animals are very sacred, and I find that they are here to be on this adventure with us, you know, and they're guides, and they're guides for unconditional love and understanding. Yeah, yeah. I actually saw cats and dogs in DMT space. Um, that was I took all of my trip reports down because like I kind of wanted to re-upload them um, under the radar so I don't get any more strikes. But yeah, I saw it was really interesting. I took some DMT and I was astral projecting into inner space, which looked like space. I don't. And what happened was I saw projections in this star system, in this pink purple star system. I saw projections of, and like literal like projections of cats and dogs. And it was a yellow orange cat, and it was a golden retriever. And yeah, they just gave me so much unconditional love. And when we exchanged energy, it was through the heart, and it was in this pink and purple light. Yeah, yeah, it was really awesome. I saw them in space, and that's when I realized like they're really special. Yeah, I've seen a few different things in in DMT space that like I'm still figuring out now. You know, even with my dreams, it takes me for one dream, it'll take me sometimes months to get the full message. And you know, they're so terrifying sometimes, like your lucid dreams, that they're like ingrained in you. So you can't really. That's true. Why? To me, you know what? I think that Terrence McKenna was really onto something with this whole singularity and the virtual reality and the AI. For me, DMT was machinery. It was technology. It was alien technology. I told you guys my last experience, I was pulled out of the Matrix, literally pulled out of the Matrix. Like, at first, I was like, this can't be real, because it was just my whole entire reality dissolved, and I went into like a computer. Uh, and right before I was able to do that, a white hand, unplugged me, and I saw the tree of life. Yeah, in liquid gold. So, and it was all technology. I was seeing machinery. I think that's the future. I think that's the age in which we're living. I think that DMT is technology. I think mushrooms are technology. I think we are technology in a way. We're not computers, but we are technology in a way. Yeah, definitely. I Yeah, yeah. That's basically what I saw. I saw this supercomputer or this galactic computer or this quantum computer in another dimension. Yeah, and it was basically that's what made my mind crack. Really, because when I was looking into this like mainframe computer, it was all the souls that ever was and ever will be generating from this thing, and it was as old as time. And I was just, yeah, that took some time to get used to. And I also find that, to me as well, it is the imagination space for someone who's, yeah, that's why I had DMT psychosis. That is a thing, and if you go too far too quickly, you need to be very mindful. Yeah, yeah, because it gets really intense. That's when it's good to have people that you love around, friends, family members that understand, just anything to ground you. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's why I've been kind of looking at the flat Earth stuff a little bit right now. I'm not a flat earther, but what's been really interesting is some of the information that's been coming out. Um, it feels like when I watched something, it was basically, and it was just like a video that made the very core of you just like be like shook, because you're like, whoa, what the hell is going on? So I was watching this flat Earth video where they were showing how the space people were actually underwater, and it could be true, it could be not true, whatever it is. For one moment, it had me shaking to the very core, like in DMT space, and I was like, whoa, man, no, I like that. I like that. It's very outside of the box. And for a moment, it has you questioning everything, questioning reality and the very nature of reality and how we were all illusions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have had experienced interdimensional beings and spirits come through mirrors and portals from other dimensions into ours. Yeah, that's really interesting. I have had one experience seeing like a little whoop, like a little thing, like it felt like something in space just like went into a circle or something. That's the only type of portal thing that I've seen with my open eyes without lucid dreaming. So yeah, I haven't had any contact like in my everyday world. Well, actually with clairaudience. So I guess I do have some beings around me, because I don't know if you guys also have this happening to you, but I get clairaudient tones on my left and my right ear. And sometimes I have to tell, whatever it is, calm down. Calm down. You're hurting my ears. Do it a little bit lighter. But they come usually with thought streams, which is really interesting. But yeah, I have had one experience with a entity in this physical world without being asleep. And I guess this is going to be an entity's live stream talk. I love talking about this stuff. I could talk about this like all day. This is like life. But anyway, so at that time, I was doing something alchemical. And yeah, I suggest you smudge and take proper precautions before you do any of that kind of stuff. And what had happened was I almost died in that space. There was a fire in my old apartment when I was living in Manhattan. There was a fire because, again, I was doing something alchemical, which I probably shouldn't have been doing. And there was a fire, and within that split second, and a huge fire, like my whole entire bathroom was on fire, because the bathroom and the kitchen were very close, and I just wanted to contain the fire, so I took the thing that was on fire and I threw it in the bathroom. And it was all in flames, and I had one split second to just like put it out and save myself. And I don't know whether it was the fear that one has before death that is encapsulated in those spaces, or maybe it was an entity that came through because I was doing something alchemical. I don't know. It could have been one or the other. But what had happened was I put out the fire because literally time stopped, and I was able to just save myself within a second. And when I did that, the very next day when the fire was out and everything, I went in with smudge because I had this really like dark feeling within my heart. And when I went to go smudge the place where there was a fire, a being that was so terrifying, I don't even know how to it was just straight fear. It was fear. That's all it was, just fear. And it was just, it went right through into me, and it went out the door after I smudged. So I think that was my only contact with a demon on this earth plane. But yeah, that was that was terrifying. I'll never forget that one. But yeah, I've had some very interesting beings come through, and it's really funny. It started honestly mostly once I started doing this. I don't know whether they know. They're like, she talks to people. Maybe we should just like contact her. I don't know, but I've looked at other YouTubers that do the same work I do, and they say the same thing as we do, that these beings come to us in hypnagogic states and lucid states. But yeah, let's. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I have also seen ET heads before. And I've also seen black figures in entities before. And I've also had sleep paralysis before. But the thing with me is, as soon as I get into sleep paralysis, I'm like, nope. But I know you can turn the sleep paralysis into a lucid dream. I'm aware of this, or at least I've heard some people talk about this. So, yeah, that's really interesting. I would be terrified of the lucid dream. Like that. I am such a chicken, like, and I'm like scared of like even scary movies. I can't watch scary movies. My partner always likes to put on like scary stuff, and I'm just like, I'm too sensitive. I can't watch it. So yeah, I feel you, man. But it's so funny. My dream state